6 felony charges, a firearm pointed at a deputy. And today, the courtroom isn't just deciding Daryl Hanson's sentence. It's measuring the weight of chaos, trauma, and accountability. This isn't your average sentencing. It's a battle between justice and forgiveness. Stay with me, B, because what's coming next is nothing short of explosive.
We will go on the record in the matter 23 CF 156, State of Wisconsin versus Daryl Hanson. Appearances are we have all parties appearing in person. Daryl Hanson appears with his counsel, Travis Kowitz. We have the state appearing through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt. We're set here today in this matter for the sentencing portion of this case. This is a very serious matter. Mr. Hanson has pled guilty to 6 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety, Class F felonies, 6 counts. The court did order a pre-sentence investigation report.
When a court orders a pre-sentence investigation known as a PSI, it's not just legal paperwork. It's a deep dive into the defendant's life, criminal history, mental health, community ties. Think of it as the court's version of peeling back every layer to understand what kind of person is standing before them.
The court has received and reviewed that report. The court has also received a sentencing memorandum filed by defense. The court has reviewed that report as well. Before we begin, Mr. Schmidt, victims' rights compliance.
We are victim rights compliant.
Did you receive a copy of both of those documents, but in particular the pre-sentence investigation report?
I did. I've reviewed all of those. I have no corrections to the PSI.
Mr. Kowitz, did you receive a copy of the pre-sentence investigation report?
I did, Your Honor.
And did you notice any corrections or material modifications that need to be stated on the record?
No, Your Honor.
Did you go over that report thoroughly with Mr. Hanson?
Your Honor, I've gone over the report with both Mr. Hanson and his wife. We didn't go through it line by line, but we went over the main portion.
And so the defense really say they didn't go through the side line by line. That's like speed reading the blueprint before building a house. If every line could influence how many years you're behind bars, would you skip a single one?
It's a pretty voluminous report.
It is a voluminous report, but you're indicating that for the sections that are the material and important sections, you went over those at least thoroughly?
I did, Your Honor.
And he did not find anything that needed to be corrected on the record?
There are no factual errors or omissions in the report.
All right, thank you. Mr. Schmidt, before we begin, so I have an idea,
The judge is setting the stage. Victims are about to speak. And let's be clear, this isn't just a formality. These are emotional wrecking balls wrapped in legal impact. The words that follow may not change the law, but they absolutely shape how it's applied.
Present here, victim witness coordinator. Ms. Bauer, do you have an idea of how many people will be making statements today?
3 for sure, possibly 5.
3 or 5 statements. Okay, Mr. Schmidt, how were you wishing to proceed? I see that you have video.
My plan is I would request the court to allow victims and to speak first. There's been requests by at least one victim the ability to possibly give a statement and leave if they need to. Then if there's any character reference witnesses, we can do the defense. I plan on using the video in the course of my argument.
Okay, thank you. And just so everybody is aware, please make sure that your cell phones are on mute so that this is not interrupted. Obviously, I see law enforcement are present here, so if there are issues and you get called or something like that, that is something that can't be avoided, and you are forgiven for that. Okay, so Ms. Bauer, who wishes to make a statement first? You may come over here and have a seat at the black stand. You may state your full name if you wish to do so, or you can simply state your initials.
Can I stand or you gotta sit? It doesn't matter.
You can, whatever you prefer.
Okay. Well,
And if you're going to be reading, and I see that you have a written statement there, if you're going to be reading, please make sure that you read it slow and you enunciate your words, just so that my court reporter can make sure that she gets everything down.
And now the courtroom takes a turn. Retired Deputy Mark Peterson walks up not as an officer, but as a man who had to pull the trigger. His voice calmed his story. Devastating. This isn't just testimony. This is trauma. Walking back into the room.
Well, I know, Your Honor, you know me. I know most people in this courtroom do, but my name is Mark Peterson, and I'm a retired Burnett County Sheriff's Deputy. Years ago, when I attended the Law Enforcement Academy, and the instructors talked about the use of force, and maybe someday you might have to use it. The firearm to stop a threat. You never think it will happen until it does. Mine was on Saturday, July 2nd, 2022. I shot the defendant 3 times after he recklessly pointed a firearm at me in Danbury, Wisconsin. Folks, some folks say that a sheriff's deputy can't be a victim. It's part of your job. It's what you get paid to do. I say to those folks, have you ever been in a fight?
Ever been in a fight for your life? Peterson's asking a brutal question. And it's not just for the court. It's for you watching. His words strip away the badge, the uniform, and leave behind a shaken man asking, what would you have?
Have you ever ordered, yelled, begged and pleaded for another human being to comply and drop a loaded firearm, while that same human being is not complying, swearing at you, giving you the finger, waving the firearm around recklessly, and yelling at you to shoot him, before finally pointing the firearm at you? You don't know how shooting another human being will affect you until it does. I unfortunately found it out, and it affected me physically and mentally. I'm not going to go into details about the medical and mental health issues directly related from the shooting. Most people in this room already know, as probably does Your Honor. And I'm not going to give the defendant the satisfaction of hearing it. But I will say I'm no longer able to be in law enforcement. And in my opinion, Burnett County lost a damn good deputy. I was asked about hypotheticals by a few folks that will probably never know what it's like to run towards danger instead of running away from it. Questions like, what if the defendant was suffering from mental health issues, psychosis, was on medication? Did you know he was a combat vet? Well, he was intoxicated. He wasn't in his right mind. He didn't know any better. And no one got hurt. He's an active member of a church. Or you shot him 3 times. He's an elderly male. He has medical issues now the rest of his life. Hasn't he suffered enough?
Peterson throws down emotional hypotheticals. What if it were your child in the bar? But here's the legal twist. The judge must rule with reason, not rage. That's the razor edge of sentencing, balancing logic with human suffering.
So I ask Your Honor, what if when the defendant was in the fishbowl bar, he pulled his firearm, was waving it around, and he shot one of your friends, one of your family members, or one of your loved ones? How about when he exited the bar and he's walking around the parking lot, waving the gun around recklessly, and he would have shot one of your family, one of your friends, one of your loved ones? How about when he was walking through the field and down the road on July 4th weekend, failure to listen to law enforcement, waving a gun around at people outside their cabins enjoying their July 4th festivities, and he would have shot one of your family, friends, or loved ones? And what if he would have shot me? I hope someday God will forgive Mr. Hansen, because I never will.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. And I do just want to make one comment. He did walk out, but he did make a suggestion that I look at whether or not it would be one of my family members or loved ones. I cannot do so. This is not an emotional process. This is a rational process.
Boom. There it is. The judge drops the reminder. This is not an emotional process. In other words, no matter how good stories get, the law demands rationality. But can any human truly separate head from?
Not put emotion into a sentencing. May you state your name, please, for the record.
Philip S. Unger, U-N-G-E-R.
You may have a seat or you can stand, whatever you prefer.
I'll stand.
You may begin.
So what do you want to know?
Whatever you want to tell me about that day and who you are in relation to this incident.
Oh, I'm the neighbor. My land joins us. I was just watching TV that day, and we have a beagle, and the beagle started barking. He's on the bed. You can see out the windows straight towards 77 and 7th Place Road. And so he started barking, so I go out there and looking, and I'm like, oh, I see a police car up there, top of the hill. It's a private road, and which is not uncommon because they do pull over people up there, you know what I mean? Because they turn on to 77 where the first road. And so I didn't think too much, but then I didn't see any other car, you know? So I went out on the porch after that, and first thing I see is a police officer with a gun pointed at someone who I didn't know was, you know, saying like, sir, would you please put down the gun? In a calm voice. And again, he goes off like, you know, obscenities and I'm gonna do this to you and all this crap. And I mean, not, like I said, it was like right at the top of the hill. He's probably 30 feet away from each other, you know what I mean? And they were coming down, and I'm not sure about how time you guys got video of it and stuff, but it was, I watched pretty much the whole thing, and then my girlfriend was sleeping in the bedroom, so I went and knocked on the window. I said, like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. You better be up in case you gotta run, you know? And so I kept watching it and came down the road, and he kept backing up. He never stopped really backing up. He was slightly turned, I thought, to the left, so I thought so that he could raise the gun, you know what I mean, and be in a right angle. And the threats and shit went on, and the police officer was just calm throughout the whole thing, and never raised his voice, just said, sir, please put down the gun. This went on and on and on, and you don't know what's gonna happen. So eventually he just passed my lot line, and there's a road back there that used to have a place to haul wood, and with our neighbor before him, and he had a bobcat, so the road was kind of, it's not a real road, but it's kind of a road. And so Mr. Hansen, of course, I didn't know who this was at the time. I figured it was somebody from the bar, you know what I mean? And so he gets back into there, and I'm watching this, and the girlfriend is on deck level higher and stuff like that. And I didn't actually see him being shot, you know what I mean? But I heard the conversation through the whole time. I was probably 150 feet away from most of it, you know what I mean? And so I could hear everything. And but there was enough foliage in the way so that I didn't see the actual, you know, shooting. But my girlfriend seen it because she was higher on the dock, up higher. So I didn't see any of the police officers do anything wrong. You know, I'm surprised they didn't shoot him out in 7th place. You know, with the threats and stuff going on, threatening to kill everybody, you know, stuff like that. I mean, come on, he doesn't have a right to do that.
Thank you. Please state your name and your connection to this incident.
My name is Carrie Burton, and I am the neighbor and girlfriend of Philip Unger. I woke up from my nap with the dog barking and him yelling at me to get out of the bed right now. There was a man outside waving a gun around and the cops were following him down the road. Our windows were open. I could hear the screaming. I could hear the threats. I could hear the fuck yous, pardon my French. I could hear the just shoot me. You're not going to take me in. I could hear all of it. By the time he had entered the woods between our house and his, he had moved to where when I looked out our back door, I was staring straight at him. And the entire time, what I witnessed was his arms with his gun in his hand, waving around, flaring around. I had no idea whether it was going to go off and go through my bedroom window or any other window to my house. As I was looking out the back door and he was still doing the same thing, I had no idea whether or not that gun was going to go off. And then all of a sudden, I got the most bone-chilling visual I've ever seen in my life.
Carrie didn't see a stranger with a gun. She saw danger pacing outside her window. Her testimony isn't legal jargon. It's survival, fear, and pure adrenaline. Imagine looking out your door and not knowing if the next bullet has your name.
Knowing that my boyfriend was standing out in the side yard. Knowing I could see 3 officers standing in the woods trying to get him to stop. And I watched the defendant raise his arm as he was turning, and my heart stopped. I hit the floor because I knew within a split second it was happening. And in that time frame, I heard 3 shots fired. And I stayed on the floor until my boyfriend came in and said, they just shot him, and I could breathe again. The only thought I had was that he had shot either my boyfriend or one of the officers, because those bullets could have gone anywhere at the rate he was turning and raising his firearm. That's something I'll never forget. And it takes a lot of time to be able to sleep again at night after that. And to this day, if we hear a gun fire off in our neighborhood, we make sure we look to see if we can figure out where it is. And all of that was brought on because somebody got irate with a loaded firearm and started waving it around recklessly.
Thank you. please state your name and your connection to this incident?
My name is Christopher Fisher, and I'm the neighbor just across from Phil, moving up the road towards Daryl and Jill Hansen's place. I was out splitting firewood with the log splitter when my wife had walked out across the yard and got my attention, and at that time my log splitter started to putter out. It was running out of gas, so I shut it off, and she had walked back towards the front of the house. I took off my earmuffs and I could hear yelling, a loud exchange going on. I thought it was somebody having a fight over across the road somewhere, maybe even at the bar. But I moved up towards the front of the house, and Sandy, my wife, was still out there. And we were hearing this going on, and I could hear, "Put that gun down, that damn gun down," and other muffled voices. And I thought, oh God, what the heck's going on? And so Sandy went to look down the road. I said, "No, you get in the house." So we both went in the house, and I was expecting who knows what to come, if it was going to come. And you could hear him getting closer, a lot of back and forth. Officer telling him to drop the gun, and he was refusing. At one point, I thought he said he would blow him away. So it was pretty upsetting, to say the least. So we went in the house, closed the door. I got my handgun just in case. Who knew what was going to happen? And we just waited. And they came, and Daryl was ahead of the officer, and I didn't see him ever wave a gun around at all. And in fact, he just had it hanging by his side, and he was not walking well. And I had only spoken to Daryl a couple of times before that, since they had moved in, and only in his pickup truck. Up close, hadn't seen him without a hat or anything like that, and hadn't seen him out walking, but I knew that he had physical abilities, with walking and all. And I wasn't sure it was him. As they came walking by, I told Sandy, I said, "God, that almost looks like our neighbor. I can't tell it, but it almost looks like our neighbor." And so we just continued to watch, and then as he came along, and the trees were blocking, then the officer came, and of course he had his gun pointed at him and continually told him to drop the weapon. And at one point, Daryl turned sort of sideways like this, and said something to him that wasn't particularly kind, and then turned and kept going. And so we moved over to another window and watched, and we had the window open so we could hear. And I know that property well that they live on. It used to be Sandy's sister, her husband's. So they went to the trail, and Daryl had turned in the trail. And at that point, I couldn't see him directly because of the tree cover, but I saw glimpses of him going, and I know where that trail goes. And Sandy questioned me. She said, "Are they going to shoot him?" And I said, "If he points a gun at him, they'll shoot him." And a couple pickups came racing in. They got out, got their weapons, and went running into the woods, and bang, bang, bang. The fastest 3 shots I ever heard. And I thought they just shot him. So it was pretty upsetting, to say the least. And I felt terrible for him. I felt terrible for the officer. And then later found out, he had been at the bar, and whatever started it had started it, and the gun came out, which is obviously not a good thing. So a lot of people obviously got scared that day over there, and all the way up to the end of it. And all I can say is a lot of things happened that shouldn't have. I don't know what caused them to. I hope it never happens again. And as wrong as Daryl was, I still,
Christopher shifts the mood. He acknowledges the fear, the danger, but also the sorrow. And just like that, we're reminded defendants can be broken, not just bad. Do you punish the action or the man?
don't want to see him suffer anymore either. I believe everybody's got a good heart. And so I'm not a judge and can't do your job, but I'm just saying he and his wife have been through an awful lot since that day of him making those mistakes. And I'm just sorry that we all had to witness it. That's it.
Thank you. That's it, Your Honor. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Schmidt, I'm going to now turn to you for your sentencing argument and your video.
I'm sure, Judge.
The prosecution isn't just talking, they're rolling tape. Because when memory clashes with reality, video wins, and body cam footage that's about to speak louder than anyone else in.
Thing that I need to add is sort of an addendum to the PSI, and that's the video. The video I'm going to be playing, I'll describe in a second. The reason why I'm playing a video is because I was surprised as I read the PSI and the statements made by Mr. Hansen in the PSI and the statements of family members and character references that a lot of people wanted to speak about the immediate incident, the circumstances leading up to Mr. Hansen being shot. That was a flashpoint for a lot of people that they wanted to talk about. A lot of people made statements about what they think happened or what they think should have happened. We saw statements like the officer was belligerent. He should have just talked to Daryl Hansen. He didn't deserve to be shot. I don't understand why the officer shot him. The courts heard some verbal statements today as well that again talk about the lead up to Daryl Hansen being shot. To that end, I need to play some body cam for the judge. This will be the 6 minutes and 20 seconds of body cam footage. It is Deputy Mark Peterson's body cam footage. To get background, Deputy Peterson received a call that someone, an intoxicated patron, was ejected from the fishbowl. He had pointed a firearm at people. That is the information he had when he was dispatched to this. In the body cam, you will see.
The prosecution isn't just talking, they're rolling tape. Because when memory clashes with reality, video wins, and body cam footage that's about to speak louder than anyone else in.
Deputy Peterson's arrival. You'll see the entirety of his contact with Mr. Hansen up until he was shot. You will hear Deputy Peterson begging Mr. Hansen to put the gun down. You will hear him entreating Mr. Hansen to put the gun down numerous times and say that if he does, they can just talk. You'll hear Mr. Hansen's response. Contrary to any assertion to the otherwise, there is evidence in this video that alcohol did play a role in terms of how Mr. Hansen spoke, how he walked, his body language. You'll see the police try to use non-lethal after commands failed and see it malfunction right as Mr. Hansen swings around at close range with no control over the direction of the firearm. And you'll see Mr. Hansen be shot. I'm going to stop the video before it gets to them administering first aid because that's gory and it doesn't really matter for the sake of the argument. First 30 seconds is before the audio kicks in.
Drop it now! 519, but at what a gunpoint! Drop the gun! Drop the fucking gun now! Drop it! Drop it now! Drop the gun! Drop that fucking gun now! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it, sir! Please drop that gun! Drop that gun, sir! Drop the gun now! Drop it! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Put the gun down! Put that gun down now! Put it down now! Put that fucking gun down! Put it down! Put the gun down! Put it down! Put that gun down now! Put it down! Put it down! 519, Brent, I got with the gun, he's not dropping it. Put it down now!
10-4.
Follow the subject, we're walking towards 77. Put it down! Drop it now!
Copy. Substitute walking towards 77, 1506.
519, Brent, we're going up a dirt road. One dirt off of 77. Male, gray t-shirt, ball cap, blue jeans. Pistol in his right hand. Drop it now!